Underway in the Atlantic Ocean in the middle of the night, the cruiser Lady Gulf collided with the carrier Theodore Roosevelt during a routine exercise, 2 months into their joint training mission. Fortunately, no one was killed or seriously hurt, but the incident serves to show the vulnerabilities of groups and teams. Our study begins at 0:30 when Roosevelt orders Lady Gulf to close from her station to a position 4,000 yards astern to conduct scheduled electronics testing. Lady Gulf's bridge officers on watch and supervisory personnel in the Combat Information Center were newly qualified and inexperienced in night aircraft carrier operations. The executive officer, who was very experienced in night battle group operations, was on the bridge throughout the incident. Aboard the Roosevelt, the tactical action officer requests permission from the officer of the deck and the commanding officer to shift power sources on vital communications and radar equipment.
Officer of the deck, this is the TAO. Request permission to shift power sources.
Minutes later, as jet engine testing begins on the fantail, the OOD moves aft lookouts to more forward positions, depriving them of a clear view of Lady Gulf.
Lookout, this is the officer of the deck. We're starting jet engine testing on the fantail. Move forward to alternate stations.
Because of the training exercise, the ships in the battle group are communicating on other circuits in their CICs. The personnel in the CICs, who normally engage in and are responsible for assisting bridge personnel with tracking the surface picture, are instead focused on the upcoming exercise. As the TAO directs the shift of power sources, Roosevelt loses its 2 primary circuits for ship-to-ship communication, the PRITAC and the bridge-to-bridge safety channel.
Hotshot, this is air power. Do you read?
Roosevelt uses a flashing light to signal Lady Gulf it has lost radio contact, but receives no acknowledgement for 22 minutes. Again using a light signal, Roosevelt notifies Lady Gulf it will conduct engineering drills involving changes in course and speed. This drill involves Roosevelt changing speed from a head flank to a stern full, a somewhat unusual drill to perform with ships in station. Lady Gulf, which has no advanced knowledge that Roosevelt's course and speed changes include astern propulsion, does not acknowledge the signal until 30 minutes later. Roosevelt begins the engineering drill set and makes no further communications regarding course or speed until 0249. At 0220, Lady Gulf finally acknowledges the Roosevelt's first light signal that its PRITAC and bridge-to-bridge circuits are down. Lady Gulf also speeds up to keep station on Roosevelt, which has begun the flank ahead portion of the drill set. Aboard the Roosevelt, the shift of power sources is completed.
Engineering, TAO. The power shift has been completed.
4 minutes later, Roosevelt's OOD orders astern propulsion as part of the drill set plan. For the next 18 minutes, the carrier alternates between a head and astern propulsion. Lady Gulf, positioned astern of the Roosevelt, continues at the same speed, rapidly closing. Lady Gulf acknowledges Roosevelt's signal that she is conducting an engineering drill set. 2 minutes later, the Roosevelt comes to an all-back full bell. Lady Gulf sets flight quarters with attention on the bridge and in the CIC, focused on preparations to recover her SH-60B helicopter. This requires a focus on a series of checklist items, beginning some 30 minutes before the operation. As the Roosevelt begins flashing a signal to Lady Gulf, warning her that her engines are astern, Lady Gulf signals back asking the Roosevelt to wait before sending the signal. The message is never sent. Officers aboard the Lady Gulf notice they have closed on Roosevelt, but assume the carrier has stopped, not that it is moving astern. Lady Gulf slows to bare steerage way. The Aegis consoles on the bridge and in the CIC indicate Roosevelt has achieved significant sternway. Roosevelt comes to an ahead 1/3 bell in accordance with the drill. The Lady Gulf is now 1 nautical mile away. Roosevelt broadcast a warning to Lady Gulf on the now restored bridge-to-bridge circuit, but the ship does not respond.
Hotshot, this is Air Power. Do you read?
When Roosevelt broadcasts the warning over the tactical circuit, Lady Gulf informs Roosevelt it is violating security rules governing the circuit and breaks off contact.
Air Power, this is Hotshot. You are in violation of exercise rules. Please reinitiate contact under normal.
A minute later, Lady Gulf begins a slow, wide 180-degree turn to recover its helicopter. For the first time, officers on the Lady Gulf Bridge realize the carrier is backing and that both ships are in extremis.
Damn, she's backing.
Lady Gulf orders a back full bell. Roosevelt comes to an all-ahead flank bell in an attempt to avoid a collision. At 0253, the bow of the Lady Gulf collides with the stern of the Roosevelt.
All hands, brace for shock.
The collision forced Lady Gulf to return to port for repairs and cost taxpayers more than $9 million.